Hello. So this week I made a comic strip with a tip on how to be kind to your stutter, or how to be more kind to your stutter, or how to be kinder. And I think I want to make this a series because I received a question about it. I think it was something like, how can you give your stutter a hug? Which I think is something that I said before. And yeah, there are a lot of simple things you can do to be kind to your stutter. So that's why I'm gonna make it a series. And I'll just make one when I'm out of breath again. I'm just gonna make one when I think of one, which I did this week, and it was to try to use objective language when describing stuttering. And this was inspired by a few things that happened in the past weeks, where someone in a professional setting, like, and even in a professional setting that was like speech therapy people, they used language like, oh, your speech was a lot better at the end of the conversation. And so these were students in speech therapy that I was having a conversation with, and one of the students said that at the end, and then they asked for feedback afterwards, and I said, yeah, maybe it's better to try to use objective language when describing stuttering, because for me, I really don't see my stutter as a bad thing anymore. Even though, of course, it makes me feel tired sometimes and it makes me feel frustrated, but it doesn't mean that my stutter is a bad thing. It's just a variation in my speech. It's a bit of a struggle, but it still isn't a bad thing. I don't know, that's just how I feel about it now. So if someone says your speech was a lot better in the end, I immediately hear that, because I'm like, so she is saying that stuttering is a bad thing and fluency is a good thing, because I was more fluent in the end of the conversation. And I think for speech therapists it would be handy if they were more objective. So that's why I gave them the feedback, and they were very understanding, so that was nice. And I had it a few times after that someone said, oh, your speech is so much better today. And I'm like, it's not better, it's just more fluent or different than yesterday. But I don't know. I understand, and I think most people see it this way. But because I try to be kind to my stutter and my speech, I just try to see it as stuttering and fluency, like, just as they are, instead of bad and good. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of why this happened, like why I don't feel like stuttering is a bad thing anymore. And first of all, it's because I don't praise myself in moments of fluency. because I don't try to achieve fluency. I just see my speech as something that does whatever the hell it wants. And sometimes it can be very frustrating, and sometimes it's more easy and more flowing, and it feels better if it's fluent and flowing. But still, it's just something that I don't try to control, and I don't praise myself when I am more fluent. So if I stutter, it isn't a bad thing. I think that's why. Yeah. I don't try to do anything to make myself more fluent. Well, probably subconsciously I do, but I don't work hard to get fluent or something. And I think that's why it wouldn't really make sense for me to label my fluency as good and my stuttering as bad, since I don't try to do anything about it. I just let whatever happens happen with my speech. I don't try to be more fluent, and since that isn't my goal, it isn't failure when I do stutter. Yeah, I think that makes a bit more sense. Because it isn't my goal to be fluent, it also isn't failure if I do stutter. Yes. Okay, I understand myself a bit more now. And why I don't try to be fluent is just because I feel okay where I am at now. I am in an environment where people accept me, like most people accept me for who I am. I work by myself, so I don't have the pressure to speak fluently for work or something. I stutter when making phone calls, and it's fine. It just takes a bit longer, but I get the work done. So yeah, I am pretty comfortable just stuttering like I am now, and just allowing my speech to block sometimes. And that's why I feel pretty neutral towards it. And it's also because I practiced this by, for example, using objective language. I think I'm going in circles now, so I'm gonna end the video here. If you have any thoughts about this, and how you view your stutter and how you think about what I just said, I really enjoy reading your comments. And happy new year, of course. I hope you have a healthy new year, and I will see you next year. Bye.